Okay, let's be real. If you're running a business in the volunteer state, tax season can literally feel like a high-stakes sprint against the clock. But today, we're going to break down the essential steps for filing a state tax extension in Tennessee. Our goal? To get you navigating this season with total confidence and absolutely zero headaches.
Look, we've all been there, right? The April deadline is looming, the clock is ticking, and that familiar panic starts setting in because your paperwork just isn't ready. Maybe you're waiting on a crucial K-1 to arrive, or your bookkeeper just needs a few more weeks to sort things out. Well, take a deep breath. This explainer is your ultimate relief valve. Getting an extension is totally standard practice, but doing it correctly in Tennessee means following some very specific rules to keep those costly penalties away.
So here is our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with an intro to Tennessee tax extensions, figure out eligibility and documentation, walk through the step-by-step filing process, cover key deadlines and mistakes, discuss what happens after you file, and wrap up with some actionable tips and a professional disclaimer.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, an intro to Tennessee tax extensions. First things first, what exactly are we extending here?
Well, since Tennessee officially waved goodbye to the Hall income tax on interest and dividends, our focus today is strictly on business taxes. Specifically, we're talking about the franchise and excise tax, or F&E for short. This is actually a two-part tax. The excise portion is a 6.5% tax on your net earnings apportioned to Tennessee. Then, the franchise portion is a 0.25% tax, and that's based on whichever is greater, your business's net worth or the property you hold in the state. So, these are the specific taxes we're buying you more time for.
Moving right along to Section 2, let's talk about eligibility and documentation requirements. Who actually has to deal with this? So if you're operating an LLC, a C Corp, an S Corp, or certain fiduciary entities engaged in a trade or business in Tennessee, yeah, you're on the hook for the F&E tax, and by extension, any related extension requests. Now, most simple trusts that are just receiving investment income, they're generally off the hook, but active business entities absolutely are not.
Now, pay close attention because this is the golden rule of the entire process, the 90% rule. To successfully get your 6-month extension from the state, you literally must calculate and pay at least 90% of your current year's franchise and excise tax liability by the original deadline. You can't just toss them a form with $0 on it. You actually have to do the preliminary math and pay the vast majority of it right up front.
Okay, Section 3. Let's get into the step-by-step filing process and see how you actually execute this.
You basically have two main paths when it comes to the forms. It's a bit of a choose-your-own adventure. Tennessee makes things pretty easy by accepting the federal Form 7004 for an automatic extension. But if you didn't file the federal 7004, or if you're one of those folks who needs to mail a physical paper payment, you're going to specifically use Tennessee State Form FAE 173.
To make this completely foolproof, just find your exact scenario here. If you're expecting a refund and owe zero state tax, simply filing your federal 7004 electronically has got you covered. If you do owe state tax and you file electronically, the actual payment you make via the state's portal acts as your extension request, so no separate form needed. But if you're that rare exception mailing a physical check, you've got to use Form FTE 173 and mail it straight to Nashville.
For the vast majority of you, meaning businesses that owe tax and file electronically, it really just boils down to 3 simple steps. First, calculate that estimated F&E tax liability. Second, double-check that you're registered for a valid TNTAP account. That stands for the Tennessee Taxpayer Access Point, by the way. Third, log in and submit that 90% minimum payment electronically. Keep in mind, Tennessee actually requires online payments for tax amounts over a certain threshold, so TNTAP is truly going to be your best friend here.
Let's jump into Section 4, Key Deadlines and Mistakes. How does all of this build towards your final compliance dates?
Here is your timeline. For your standard calendar year businesses, your original return and that critical 90% initial payment are due on April 15th. Once you've successfully secured the extension, your actual final return paperwork gets pushed back to October 15th. That gives you a massive 6-month buffer to get your house in order.
But listen up, because I cannot stress this next point enough. An extension to file is not an extension to pay. The state is more than happy to give you extra time to organize your paperwork, but they absolutely still want their money on time. Hands down, this is the most common and, frankly, the most costly mistake taxpayers make every single year.
Why? Because if you fail to pay that required 90% by April 15th, you will be hit with a 0.5% per month failure to pay penalty on whatever amount you underpaid. And actually, it gets worse, because you'll also accrue standard interest on top of that penalty. Month after month, that adds up incredibly fast and eats straight into your bottom line. Trust me, the state does not mess around with this.
Now, there are a couple of rare exceptions to these rigid deadlines. The Tennessee Commissioner of Revenue has the power to grant extraordinary extensions, usually aligning with IRS and FEMA timelines during natural disasters. For example, after Winter Storm Fern, affected businesses in all 95 counties actually saw their deadlines pushed all the way to June 8, 2026. Also, U.S. troops deployed in designated combat zones get an automatic extension. That gives them 180 days to file and pay after hostilities wrap up or they transfer out of the zone.
All right, Section 5. What happens after filing? You sent your payment in April, so what are your next steps?
Now you get to use that sweet 6-month buffer. You'll hunker down with your accountant, gather up all your precise financial data, finalize those net worth calculations, and submit your final F&E tax return by October 15th. This is the moment where you true up any remaining balance you might owe, or, if you're lucky and your April estimate was a bit too high, happily claim a refund.
I do want to throw in a quick sidebar for exempt entities. If you run one, like a family-owned non-corporate entity or a FONTS, you have to annually renew your exempt status using Form FAE 183. A federal extension automatically grants you a 7-month extension for this specific Form 2. But a word of warning, if you miss this final extended deadline for Form FAE 183, you're looking at a strict, flat $200 penalty per occurrence. No exceptions.
Finally, Section 6, Tips and a professional disclaimer. Let's wrap this up with some actionable advice to keep your business fully compliant. Keep these pro tips in your back pocket. First, do not wait until April to estimate your tax liability. Be proactive and do it throughout the year. Second, if you're a C Corp doing business across multiple states, remember to use Tennessee's single sales factor formula for apportioning your income. Third, keep a close eye on your TN TAP account. It's by far the fastest way to catch correspondence or audit flags from the Department of Revenue. And lastly, remember that Tennessee generally mandates online payments for tax liabilities, so just rely on TN TAP to process everything smoothly.
Now, as always, please remember that this explainer is strictly educational, providing general guidance based on state statutes and Department of Revenue materials. It is not professional tax advice. Every single business's financial footprint is totally unique, so you should absolutely consult a U.S.-based certified public accountant, an enrolled agent, or reach out directly to the Tennessee Department of Revenue for guidance specific to your exact situation.
I really want to leave you with this exact quote directly from the state's tax guidelines to totally hammer home the golden rule of Tennessee extensions. Read it, internalize it, and let it guide you every spring. The extension moves the return filing deadline, but it does not extend the payment deadline.
So here is the big question for you. Have you accurately calculated your 90% F&E payment yet? The clock is definitely ticking toward that deadline. Take some time today to log into your books, secure that extension, and keep those monthly failure to pay penalties far, far away from your business. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, best of luck to you this tax season.